Hello, everybody. Welcome to Kubernetes Cluster API Azure, pardon me, our weekly office hours. It is November 21st. I had to remind myself. Um, as probably everybody is well aware, we abide by the Kubernetes Code of Conduct since we're part of SIG Cluster Lifecycle, which basically boils down to let's be polite and try not to talk over each other, make this a welcoming place for everyone. Um, Before we go any farther, I'm noticing next Thursday is Thanksgiving, so I'm just gonna assert that we're gonna skip that meeting. But just FYI, we will meet 2 weeks from now. Um, and this is the part of the meeting where if someone is new and wants to introduce themselves, they can do so. Or if someone just wants to say something, I'll be quiet for a second. Go ahead and do so. I don't think anyone is new, and you should all feel free to raise your hand or just interrupt at this point. So what we've got under open discussion is we have a release blocking issue, cluster upgrades failing due to assumptions about ILB front-end IP being defaulted. Oh, okay. Um, Willie or Nawaz, do you want to talk more about it? Go ahead, Nawaz.
Sorry, I'll let Willie go ahead first because he put in if he has anything to say.
Oh, you can go first. I can add on.
Okay, I was about to add the PR we have been working on. Um, uh, I think over there. Let me just add this. Okay, so to give a gist on what we are trying to do is because of all the SFI initiatives, our local development was a little challenging. So we came up with a solution that for every time an API server of type public is brought up, we try to create an internal load balancer, and we have a very opinionated way of assigning it an internal IP, and that seemed to work for us. But then when we were testing the API version upgrade, CAPZ upgrades, we ran into an error that uh, use the validation webhook or um, basically a validation webhook would not allow the change in the number of front-end IPs assigned to the API server LB. Basically, uh, earlier there was no hardcore requirement of having an internal LB, but now with this change, we are mandating internal LB created for every uh, flavor that runs on a public API server LB. Uh, so both Willie and I were working on this yesterday, and I think both of us have sort of this opinion that if we scroll down, we have put it on there saying, I think it'd be better if we have this behind a feature flag, or we uh, make more changes to the webhook to allow this. Because right now, uh, if the user take the latest version of CAPZ, they are going to get the internal LB set up, and they do not even have a choice to opt out of this. Um, so we were wondering what should be the right approach.
Hmm. So they get the internal LB now by virtue of this having been baked into all our templates and flavors, right? It's not programmatically we generate it, or am I
No,
mistaken?
it's baked into cluster.go.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah. So initially, it was baked in cluster.go. Then another PR added it to made it configurable so that you can specify it in templates. and then have your own internal LB and internal IP specified. But that being said, uh, the addition of new internal LB for an API server LB of type public is hard coded.
Right.
So that just from the user perspective, that doesn't seem to be a very nice experience.
Yeah, someone's going to complain for sure.
Yep. And
Uh,
also in upgrade tests, uh, uh, if we really want that feature to be running, we need to make more hacky changes at the validation webhook.
would disabling this behavior, would that allow the upgrade test to pass?
Yes.
Or is it really? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the best way to go about this is make it configurable because this is kind of specific to, I mean, obviously it's good to route traffic through like internal stuff, load balancer, but we should still not force people to do that. Plus, especially if, like, first of all, there's like two separate issues. First, like we need to fix the upgrade. Like right now, people just can't upgrade the cluster to this version if we release.
Right.
Um, so we fix that assumption, and then we probably make it configurable. Um, and yeah, I think it's good to put it behind the feature flag. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, I think so. I hadn't really thought about the implications of changing default behavior there, but it seems like it should be behind a feature flag and probably default to false or off so that users aren't surprised. Although, as you pointed out, this is probably a better configuration. This is more secure, and uh, at some level, we should be opinionated about it. Like, I guess we are because it's in the, well, if we shut it off, it'll still be in the templates, but maybe we'll have some flag that, or actually, no, it won't. Well, but yeah, yeah, I'm certainly convinced. So, so that'll take some more work and several days more testing, if
Yeah,
not, yeah.
I'm
Um,
thinking. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Nawaz.
No, go ahead. Finish your thought. I'll then add.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe we want to patch release this today at least, just for the people who are waiting for that. And then push a minor release to next week.
yeah. The only Well, the only problem that comes to mind is next week is Thanksgiving, so things can get kind of messed up and we can be shorthanded. But it looks like we're mostly going to be here and we have at least 3 days. So
I can do it because like I'm on call and I'm chilling and I don't have plans, so I can handle the release.
cool. Well, I mean, I'll be here too, but go ahead,
Yeah.
Noah. Sorry, we're talking over you.
No worries. I was also thinking if we really want to make a release right now, we should be reverting three PRs, which were adding this feature. We rolled out this feature in three steps. First one was where we created the internal LB. Next one was making it uh, changeable, configurable. And the third one is still on the fly. So uh, the two changes which are in the main right now, we can revert it and then we can make a new release and we can carry this forward into a new release altogether. It's not a customer ask either, so it's not breaking any customer out there. Plus, since it's purely internal, uh, it can wait for uh, a new release for another cycle. And
Yeah, Willie.
that way we
Sorry, go
wouldn't
ahead.
even be hearing it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does make sense. I'm thinking would it be better to revert it and minor release or just do patch releases and push it back? What do you think?
Since it's a breaking change, uh, I don't think we would want to do it in a patch release. I
No,
think
I
we,
meant patch release, like it won't include this. Like the patch releases for 116 and 117.
yeah, I don't think the patch releases 116 and 117 is going to get this change anyway.
Yeah,
Because
but I meant there's like stuff that people are waiting for in those
exactly.
patch releases.
Yeah.
Right.
Um,
I,
yeah,
thi- I think we should do the patch releases today, regardless, or Jack or whoever's on. Um, uh, but I'm not entirely sure whether we want to just defer the release. So even if we revert the changes that are already in related to this, and we're back to a known state, and we
Mm.
release on that, that's still going to take us, most likely through into next week. Uh,
Would it?
I would assume. Well, I mean, ideally not, but you know how CI actually goes. We'll probably get some flakes and all that, and it'll take the rest of the day to validate that the reverts are there. And then really before we do a release, we want to watch our CI signal in test grid for a couple days to make sure things are still working. And
Yeah.
chances are decent they're not, and there's something else we have to fix. So suddenly it's next Wednesday and we all have to go off to Thanksgiving. So that will probably happen anyway, or may happen anyway. I'm just pessimistic, um,
That's fair.
but it probably will take at least as long, if not longer, to implement the feature flag and validate all of that, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think maybe we should discuss with the rest of the team too
Yeah,
before we can do the decision. But for now, I think, yeah, those are our two options.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to keep people waiting anymore because I think there's some people waiting for the patch release
right.
last week, and then we were like, okay, we can just release the minor release this week and they'll have it. And then that didn't happen, so we should do something
Yeah.
about that.
Well, I think the patch releases are disconnected from this stuff, right?
Yeah,
So
it's
we could,
Yeah.
disconnected. I just meant that
yeah,
we shouldn't delay that any longer.
yeah. My my gut feeling, if you push me, I think we should probably revert the stuff, make sure that the dust settles, and then release based on that, and then we can reintroduce these and work with them. Um, but yeah, let's see what other people think. Unfortunately, um,
I
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
sorry. I was just saying I agree.
Yeah, just what do you think, Brian? Do you have any opinions? Do you need stuff that's in main right now, or are you okay with some patch releases?
I mean, patch leaks sound fun to me.
Well, um, the annoying thing is, right after this meeting finishes, we have an internal stand-up meeting where presumably we'll have a couple more maintainers present, but ideally we could make the decision here in public. But I guess that's what we should do is we'll powwow there and see if people have strong opinions, and then we'll at least communicate on Slack, hey, here's what we're doing with the 118 release. Better than releasing something that's broken, I think.
Mhm.
Cool. Well, thank you obviously for doing so much work, you guys, and also for thinking about it at this level, because I really hadn't, but I think you're right. We should probably pump the brakes on this and just do a release. And it's not do or die whether we release it this week or even next week. I don't think so. We should probably do the right thing. Cool. All right. Well, that was the only thing on the agenda, although quite important. Anybody have anything else we want to talk about? Sounds like a no.
Um,
No?
a quick thing. I think
Yeah.
didn't Brian have some like open PRs? I just want to make sure those are addressed.
Yeah. Good call.
I I think those are waiting on me.
Okay.
I need to check some things, and this week we have like a code feature freeze. So I've been distracted with it and haven't got around to my PRs here.
No worries. Just wanted to see if you needed anything or had questions. But yeah, I think I just want to make sure everything's addressed and we didn't leave anything.
No, I think I'm good. I need to check some things. Probably the first one I'll move on is that webhook registration. Um, a colleague opened up an issue that's kind of related to that today. So I kind of want to move on this one before I do the other one.
Cool. All right. Well, let us know if we can, if we're failing to review things or failing to help out. Sometimes we need to be nudged. All right. Well, with that, I'll stop sharing and We will see everybody in 2 weeks, although most of the maintainer team, I think, is around most of next week, or at least Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So please feel free to bug us in Slack or whatever. See ya.
Yeah, thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks.